It's the end of February, it's still winter. We had a coating of snow this morning, it's melted off already. And it's too early to garden, or is it? Stay tuned and I'll show you what I'm up to here on the homestead. Good morning, welcome back to another episode of Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. We're going to be trying something new I've never tried before here on the hobby farm, and that is straw bale gardening. I was gifted 4 bales of straw, and I put one up in the quack shack, the one that collapsed. We're starting the new quack shack today, so that's going to be another video. But right now we're focusing on straw bale gardening. I found this wonderful concept on YouTube that people are trying. So I've got 3 bales we're going to move into the garden, and I'm going to park them right over here by these stumps that were left over from trees I cut out when we purchased the property. So the stumps, by the way, have mushrooms growing on them, which is a great thing for me because the mycelium from the mushrooms is helping break down and decay the wood of the stump, so it'll be easier to rot out, and it leaves a good organic compound for the garden for future use. So let's get those bales moved over here and I'll show you how to prep them for planting. Now, the reason why I have it sitting on end like this is, in theory, the bales are baled with the straw going this way. So you want the straw going this way when you set it, because what you want to do to prep this, it's going to take about 9 to 12 days to prep this bale before you can plant in it. And what you need to start with is a nitrogen source, because nitrogen added to the straw is what helps start breaking it down, start the decay to turn it into compost or soil. And a good resource that is absolutely free for nitrogen is urea, which is urine. That's right. You can get urine down. Oh, you can get the urea commercially, and you can pour it in here, but that costs. But the urea I'm going to use is my own. I'm just going to come out and pee on the bales, and then I water it in. If you don't want to use urine, you could always use beer. Beer is full of nitrates. And I'm not going to film that because you can't unsee that, so we're just going to keep it clean. So, ooh, there's some Canadian geese flying. Anyway, we have water it in, let it set for 3 days, and then put another layer of urine on the bale, water it in, and wait 3 days. And then put another layer of urine on the top of the bale and water it in, and then wait 3 days, and then you can start planting. The microbes in the microsystem that's going on in here is breaking it down, and it's neutralizing any harmful pathogens, so it's going to be safe. Besides, when urine first is micturated, it is sterile. So it's interesting. But the process, the science behind this is while it's breaking down and decaying, the natural process is creating a heat. And you want that heat because that heat helps germinate the seed faster. So this gives you the ability to do an earlier planting and get a head start on your crops. What's nice about straw bale gardening, what I found is that it completely breaks down at the end of the year, and you have a usable mulch for other parts of your garden, your raised beds or your garden, whatever. So it's perfectly great organic compound. And you can go down and get some more straw bale and try again, which also makes it great for growing a garden if you have you live in an urban setting and you don't have much yard space. You could use this method. You could use pots to grow in, stuff like that. But I got these 4 hay bales, or straw bales, and they were free. And so I'm going to utilize them to the best of their capabilities and have it used after it's finished growing a crop. What I'm going to grow in here is I'm going to try different kinds of vegetables, some flowers, and maybe grow some tomatoes and see how well they do in here. But this will be my experimental garden. I will also be using the organic mulch to spread in the garden. And speaking of the garden, we're going to continue using the garden and planting it. I'm going to be adding some raised beds. I've got another video I'll be producing next, so stay tuned for that one in the gardening series. So stay tuned for more in this series on the straw bale gardening. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen, here at Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and learning something new with me as I'm learning it and able to share with you. We'll see you guys in another video. Bye-bye.